Where do I even begin? Yesterday, what a nightmare it was. Righto, so yesterday morning starts at 4:30. I've got truck and trailer loaded from the night before. I finished at about 8:30 at night. Thought, right, I'm ready to go, because I had to go to Brisbane, but I also had to pick up these two hardtops, and I needed clutch parts for the truck because the clutch has been playing up and I was losing pedal and it was a nightmare. So you got to be quick on the key to turn it off when it's stuck in gear. So get up in the morning, out to the trailer, this wheel's flat. So we spent last weekend redoing lights on the truck and trailer and stuff, trying to catch up on the maintenance that honestly I haven't been doing, and that's on me, right? So flat tyre. But these rims are like AU rims, and anyone that plays with cars knows that AUs are very hard to get now. I put one in that scrap pile up there, but it's about 6 cars deep that had 2 wheels on the back, but the tyres are rooted on them. I've got to get them out so I've got more spares for the... I used to put these wheels away, but for some reason we stopped doing it. Then there's an EL down the front, but it had these 16s on it, but put them on and they're too far in, so then I had to find some spaces. This is all in the dark, in the morning, it's freezing cold. Ended up finding spaces, putting them on, got the wheel on, away we go. Clutch isn't working in the truck, like it was a nightmare, like just, what a day. So off to Brisbane, so 2.5, 3 hours down to Brisbane, unloaded the 2 cars I had on, went to get the RX-8 parts because I'd ordered a boot lid and a rear bar for this RX-8 so we can get this back together and get it using it. Right, turn up there, that was last week when I was in Brisbane, and the chick goes, oh no, we don't pull parts off until, because I told her I'd be there on Friday, we don't pull parts off until they're paid for. I'm like, all right, well I'll pay for them, now I'll pick them up next week. So, because I didn't have time to wait around. So the day is just total shit show, like just ridiculous. But in the morning I looked at that tyre and I went, I'm not going, and I went, nah, I've committed to these hardtops. So 2 hardtops. This one here has, well obviously shortened diff, right? 9-inch springs are put in the center. It was a burnout car, there's still a center in the 9-inch. I have no idea what the center is at this point. The guy I bought them off didn't know either because he sort of bought them as a project, and he had a lot of nice cars down there. We'll get to that in a minute. Right, see, massive pipes, but this thing caught fire. So you can see that beaver panel along there is sort of buckled. It's had a roof on it. The quarters aren't terrible. The one on this side's a little bit buckled. This car's not too bad. The floors are actually quite alright in it, but they molasses dipped a boot lid and put it in epoxy, which is great, so it's a coupe boot lid. And there's 2 really good doors with it. So this door here, which has also been molasses dipped and done, and the one in the boot. So it's a really good base for a project. It's missing a lot of stuff. That one there's got the rear quarter windows in it and window winders. This one doesn't, but I can find all that stuff. Yeah, this one's got a V8 cross member in it, which is great. This car here is a bit rougher. The roof was sitting on when I got there, but to travel I had to put it down. Those doors in there are the ones that got hot, but it might give me enough to build a really rough coupe down the track if we go that way. This one's still got the wiper mechanism and stuff. I'm gonna have to find a sedan or wagon or 2 rough ones to nuts and bolts and headlight brackets and bonnet latches and all that sort of stuff. I think bonnet hinge for the far side there, it must have got hot and it sagged, see? But yeah, I'm pretty excited about these. Wayne come in this morning, it's actually Saturday morning now, so I really appreciate it. Like, we're gonna sort this clutch out. Yeah, and by the time I got back here last night, and I had jobs that I was supposed to go and do, I got back pretty late, but just couldn't go and do any of them because I just had no clutch. I got pulled over by the Breatho, there was a Breatho set up at Blackbutt, and to get the truck going again, to put it in gear and hit the key in front of all these coppers and that, it was just a freaking nightmare. But got back here safe and it's all good. We've got to continue with this maintenance on the trucks and trailers. But yeah, it's pretty happy. Bit of hardtop action. The guys down there were awesome. There was a 56 Chev. He had two bubble top, like, I don't know what they're called, were they Biscaynes or two like they look like, you know, on Mad Max when it's, hey fella, stop, you're a turkey, you know, with that, the big wings on the back. Looks like an El Camino, but in a coupe. He had a post one and a bubble top one, which is a pillarless one. I was going to take my camera with me yesterday, but because of the shit show I had getting going, didn't get it. But anyway, another couple of coupes. What this means is you can buy quarters, floors, roofs, all the bits and pieces from the firewall back on these hardtops is the same as a Dodge Dart over in the States. So they have a lot of aftermarket support for firewall back. So it makes it practical now, because I've got that other shell over there. It wasn't practical to order all that steel because the freight cost, but now if I've got to buy 3 of everything, the freight cost will come down, and it'll be actually, you can split it across each project, and it'll actually make sense to do it, if that makes sense. So yeah, so this year sometime I'll watch the dollar and wait until the American dollar, if it ever comes better, and make an order, and yeah, get a lot of the sheet metal in for these cars. So yeah, I'm absolutely wrapped. That diff, and yeah, so I've got a massive set of Pro Stars up there. Hopefully they'll fit under it. If not, yeah. But yeah, it's a disc brake arse end, which is generally too hard to find on these, but to fit on these. But anyway, I'm wrapped. Righto, let's fix this clutch. Truck's apart. So what we found, so this is the master. So when you're doing your car, if you don't know, like, so you've got the master and you've got the slave. So the master is at the top and the slave is down the bottom working. The master, when you push the master in, it tells the slave what to do. As politically incorrect as that is, that's what it's called. So I was thinking about this the other day, right? So on your job interviews, on your bloody job applications these days, you got to put your pronouns, right? So why do they only have pronouns? Why don't they have like verbs as well? And verbs are like doing words, aren't they? So the people with pronouns, their doing words would be, I'm a pain in the ass, lunatic, you know, like, yeah. So maybe we need to start, you need to add to your pronouns with your verbs so that people really understand how fucking stupid you really are. But anyway, back to the truck. Righto. So you can see, I hope you can see that seal there, that's the piston. So that goes into there, right, into the master. That one there's a dust jacket and a seal. And then that there is your piston, which holds that seal, and that seal there is shot. Inside there, which you're not really going to be able to see, is very pitted. So what happens is your brake fluid attracts water, okay? This was the brake fluid, and this is on me for not maintaining properly. That's how black the brake fluid was, and that'll be full of water and contaminants. So you can get a big syringe and you can pull it out. You don't have to re-bleed your brakes, but just pull it out of the reservoir and put new stuff in, and then drive it for a week, pull it out, put new stuff in, and it'll be enough to keep fresh fluid in when you do your servicing, without having to bleed your brake system, if that makes sense. Leave a little bit in there, it'll mix back through, and then pull it back out, and then it'll be clean without having to get too involved with actually undoing bleeders and pumping it all through. It's not the best way to do it, but at least it'll keep your fluid a bit cleaner. But yeah, so basically it rusts in there, gets pitted, then it breaks the seal. We are going to do the slave as well because the truck's done 850,000 Ks. There you go. So what are your doing words?